Guys, welcome to Bobby's Business Club, the chat show. We have a few technical issues, but that's just the joy of doing things live, isn't it? Bobby's Business Club is a collaborative group of business owners from all across the world, and we meet every fortnight for our networking event. We have 1 hour, and we split our time up evenly between all of us so we can all learn more about each other. We also do accountability sessions and so much more. And the reason why we're here today is we don't have time for a presentation in our 1 hour, but we give more time to our members to come online and talk about their business. And we have a bit of a chat. That's why it's called a chat show. And today we have our co-host is Karen White. How are you, Karen?
I'm good. How are you doing, Bobby?
I'm good. I'm trying to practice your name in the car today, and it's still
Karen.
I know. I still can't get it. And what do you
Yeah.
do? Tell us more what you do.
What do I do? What do I do? Good question. So I empower women that are working predominantly in the corporate space that are midway through their career to really figure out and navigate that next step. Because I think I just recently did a career planning workshop, and it was really lovely to take some people through that to recognize that they have transferable skills and that they have things that, they're like, I didn't even think that was possible because I wasn't qualified for that. And I've been there myself. So yeah, that's a lot of what I'm really focusing on right now is just how can I help someone plan out their career, but know that they can adapt that as they go along the way. So yeah.
And it just so happens that really we're all in that space on this call right now. We're all in that recruitment kind of space. Obviously, I have Simplified Recruitment Solutions, and Holly is going to touch on what she does in a moment. But we have Holly Alloway from Aurora Digital Marketing Solutions, and she's going to be talking about delete, delegate, dominate in digital marketing systems, which are simplified. And she's all the way from Japan. Like, this is just the beauty of doing Zooms, that we can connect with people all around the world. And even though she's from the wonderful country of Japan, she's also from England. And we have a bit of a crazy story to tell you later on. But that's enough about that. We'll get to that later. Holly, welcome to the show. The floor is yours. Whenever you're ready, you can share the screen, do your intro, and take it away.
Thank you so much. Wow, yeah, a few mysteries thrown in the introduction there. What's going to happen? Better stay tuned. So hi everyone, my name is Holly Alloway. Thank you for the lovely intro, Bobby. So essentially what I do is I work with recruiters, talent acquisition specialists, HR consultants, anyone within that space who is a business owner who just feels as though their business systems are failing them and they just don't know where their business systems are failing them in a specific sense. So it could be your niche marketing. Is there something about your target audience, or maybe you don't even have a target audience? What is going on there? Who should you be talking to, and who is your offer truly going to be helping in that situation? It could be something to do with your content marketing. So are you making content? Are you making the right kind of content on the right platform? Are you speaking to the right people and, making those connections within the right place? Or it could be as simple as the messaging that you're sending out to people, your lead generation strategies. Are people truly reading and wanting to connect with you, and why aren't they? So there's a ton of different things that it could be. So that's why I want to help those recruitment people in those business systems, is because, everyone needs recruitment. Everyone needs a job. Everyone is looking to empower themselves through their business. And they know that they have a great offer. It's just a case of tying that copywriting to that target audience and really making that message super, super powerful. So it's all about embracing and empowering your own message through your own business, because at the end of the day, you are your business, and therefore you want your business to represent you the best way possible. Just a case of finding which business systems are failing you and why that is. So I guess, the topic today is delete, dominate, delegate. So we're going to take a look kind of interactively with Bobby and Karen. I'm saying your name right, aren't I? Oh, got it. So we're going to be doing an interactive session with you guys today. So sorry, I'm going to put you on the pedestal a little bit here, but what don't we know about you at this point? You're always talking to people at different networking events. So why not delve into a little bit of the juicier stuff? So I'm going to be sharing my screen, if I can get the right screen up. Just bear with me a moment. And let me know when you can see my screen or if there's any problems at all. Perfect.
But it's not in the presentation mode, I'm just letting you know. It's just in the view mode.
Fine. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, because we're going to be doing an interactive stuff. So I'm going to have to be typing on it. So that's all good. Nice. All right. So yes, delete, delegate, dominate. So like I said, a business, whether you're in the market of recruitment, whether you're in consulting, whether you're doing business coaching, whatever kind of industry you are serving and whatever kind of business you are, business is essentially just a bunch of systems stacked each on top of each other. So when something is failing you, it's sometimes really difficult to find which system is failing you. So you have to kind of uncover all your systems and see what is going on. Another battle that I see a lot of people in their business trying to tackle is how you manage your time managing all of these different systems. When you start out, it's very simple. You've only got a couple of systems working for you. By the time you've scaled to the point where you're wanting to grow and add more team members into the system, it's a case of, well, how do I manage my time? Who do I delegate these tasks to? What do I do as a business owner so I can keep on growing in my business whilst trying not to be tied too much into the business? I want to be working on the business. And which business systems do I just have to delete? Which ones just aren't working for me anymore? So when it comes to deciding how I'm going to manage my time and also my team's time, you need to think about your short-term and long-term goals. So there are always 4 different kinds of tasks. Again, whatever business you do, whatever tasks you have, they all fall within these 4 categories. You've got marketing, sales, delivering, and growth. So marketing involves anything and any task that is made to promote your business, create brand awareness for yourself, for your target audience, and attracting potential leads and customers into the business. So they're not yet your clients. Anyone who either doesn't know you or knows of you, but you're trying to build that awareness a bit more. That's marketing. Then you've got sales. So these are all kinds of tasks that are aimed to convert leads into paying customers and therefore drive your revenue. So it's all about the conversion, the journey that they go on from being a lead to being a client. Then delivering. These tasks are about fulfilling your promises to your customers, whether that's delivering a product, a service, or ensuring customer satisfaction. That's all about the delivering on your promise. Then the last one is all about growth tasks. So this is all about scaling your business, expanding your market share, and increasing overall business value. There are some tasks that can overlap. So for instance, networking. It depends what you're doing in your networking. So if you're just going there to meet people and kind of grow that brand awareness, that could be a marketing task. If you're there actually trying to convert leads into clients, that's the sales system. So like I said, it can sometimes be a bit foggy as to which business task, system, category, whatever the case may be, it falls into. But it does fall into something depending on your goal that you've got. So when I talk about goals, when you are wanting to think about, well, which task do I want to dominate, delegate, or delete, you've got to think about your goals. It all links back to your goals. So let's say your goal is to increase your brand awareness and generate more leads. The more time that you spend, therefore, in your marketing is going to expand and be able to help you reach that goal. So you want to be able to do more tasks yourself that are pushing towards that marketing task goal. That could be either you do it and therefore you go to networking events, or you get someone else in your team to do that for you as well. Another example is if you want to increase your sales or revenue, so goal number 2, you therefore put more emphasis on the tasks on the sales side of things, whether that's getting more leads into those sales calls, whether it's getting more time or putting more emphasis on the resources in your delivery of the sales call, something like that. You need to put more emphasis into that and those tasks so you can achieve that goal. So, there's a few different examples here. I won't talk your ear off about any of these. I think you get the idea. So let's get into the juicy bit and the interactive stuff. So this is where we get into a time audit. So this is where you think about, what do I do in my business right now? And the first thing you have to think about is, how many hours a week do I actually work in my business? And this question can really, really put a spanner in the works. A simple question like this. I was talking to a client a couple of weeks ago, and in their head, their first answer was, oh, definitely like 40 hours a week. Of course I do. And I go, okay, let's break it down then. And we started talking about, well, how many hours do you put into marketing, sales, delivery, and growth? Because that's all the time you've got in your business. Any single task that you do only falls into these 4 categories. And by the end of our conversation at this point, it was very apparent that they weren't putting any time into any of these tasks. What they were actually doing was wasting time thinking that they were putting their time into some of these tasks. But in actuality, what they were doing was maybe putting too much time into reading an email or checking their emails too often. So really, they were only working about 20 hours a week. So that was 20 extra hours that they were doing non-marketing, sales, delivery, growth tasks. And they thought, oh God, I've just wasted so much time in my business doing these non-growth marketing sales tasks. And actually, I'm just wasting my time. So therefore, we could put more time into thinking about, well, what can I actually do with that 40 hours? If I've got 40 hours to put into my business, what can I be doing more of? So like I said, we are going to split these into the 4 quadrants. So marketing could be anything like filling out the digital Rolodex, which is something that I give to my clients to keep in touch with the clients that, or the leads that they've got in their wheelhouse. So they've kind of got an idea of who they're talking to, what stage they're at, and what they are doing to promote their business and push them towards being a client. Engaging with people on LinkedIn, creating content, that could all be to do with marketing. Sales is like discovery call, follow-up calls, updating sales systems and processes. Delivery is sessions with clients, emailing clients, admin stuff. This can look different for every single business. It doesn't matter really what business you're doing. It will all look a bit different. Growth, networking events, filling out the digital Rolodex, engaging with people on LinkedIn, doing conferences, personal development days, playing golf with current clients. You know, that could be pretty old school, but some people still do that. So anytime that you do during the week, what do you do actually in your business? So the juicy stuff. Do I have a volunteer who wants to do a time audit with me?
I'll do it. I was waiting to see if you did it, but you didn't put your hand up and just sat away from the camera like this. So you went like this. You went, I'm not here. I'm not here. Yeah, I'll do it. Come on, let's go. Let's do it.
Well, don't worry, Karen. We've got another interactive thing I'm going to do with you later. So don't you worry. You're not being left out. All right, Bobby.
Yeah.
How many hours do you think you work in your business every single week?
I would say all in all, I probably do about 38 hours a week. I try and stick to just a corporate life if I can.
Yeah, as much as you can. All right, so how many hours? Okay, actually, before we do that, let's think about what kind of marketing tasks you actually do. So just to give you a reminder, it could be more than this. I've just mentioned a couple of ideas. It could be recording podcasts, creating content, engaging with people on LinkedIn. What kind of marketing tasks do you do in your business?
So I create content. I do that for all businesses.
Yeah, so almost 3 businesses.
Yeah, and that takes me a week to create them, about an hour and a half. I do it every Monday.
For all of your businesses?
Yeah.
That's really good. Great. Anything else?
I'll just do one recording, just record it, get over with, put it out there. That's it. I do spend a lot of time, not so much on LinkedIn, but I'm always on Facebook anyway, in general. So that is kind of, I would probably say that goes outside the 38 hours because I'm on that in the evening as well. So I don't really class that as work, even though I am connecting people and stuff, but I don't really see it as work. But I probably spend a week on Facebook including and outside of 38 hours, probably 10 hours a week. And then TikTok, I spend probably about 40 hours a week.
There we go, we're finished then. That's all your time.
That includes like weekends.
You might need to put that into personal development.
Yeah, that's it. So yes, I am looking at TikTok, and yes, it's entertaining. But 1 minute I'm looking at someone, a dog doing juggling act, and then the next minute it's an accountant talking about whatever, and then I then like and comment on their post, and then that then makes them look at my marketing. So yeah, so it's a bit of a mixture.
So let's say like you're actually commenting. Let's just put that into a time.
I would say, I don't know, let's say 2 hours a day, 15 hours. Let's say 10 hours a week, if it's Monday to Friday.
I'm glad you're here doing the maths, so I can't do the maths.
Yeah, this is probably going to be way over 38 hours. I said that. But I don't count that stuff as working, because it's just like, it's a bit weird, right? So I only count either on my laptop doing something, because I only use my laptop for work, or if I'm going to an event, and everything else outside of that really doesn't count as work. But anyway.
I get you. Anything else to do with marketing?
Obviously I do these kind of things with you guys, so that's still marketing myself. I do other podcasts, but that's not every week. So maybe just do maybe half an hour a week, just to even it out over the year.
Is that 30 minutes webinars and podcast, or
yeah, just a bit of everything, because I do other people's podcasts and I do these ones as well.
Nice. Anything else?
Don't think so, not in the marketing stuff.
Cool.
Content falls in, LinkedIn falls under the content stuff. So
at Facebook, LinkedIn, 10 hours a week-ish. Cool. All right. So sales. So this is discovery calls, follow-up calls, updating sales systems or processes. This can be a bit tricky to answer, because obviously, like you said, you don't always do podcasts every single week. You might just do a bulk session and record a couple of podcast episodes one week, but do nothing the next week. So just on average, if you could in a week.
So I don't really touch my processes and everything. They're kind of like down pat and easy, and it's pretty simple and all done. And really, follow-ups are probably an hour a week. It really just depend on how many I've got. If I've got lots of follow-ups to do, then it'll take a bit longer. But a lot of that's automated anyway, so probably do that. And then with discovery calls, some months we have none, some months we have 10, and they take an hour each. So let's just say on average 2 hours a week, just over the year.
Nice. Let's move on to delivery then. So this can be actually delivering on your sessions, emailing clients, admin stuff. I know it's a little bit different for you than it is for other recruiters, because you're driving the business, and once they become clients, you're kind of
something to do with
someone else.
So really, I don't have anything to do with the delivery, so it's really 0 hours. But I do email, but really it's just part of my marketing. So really, delivery is probably an hour a week, not even
1 hour-ish. Cool. And then growth. So I've already put PD TikTok too much time, but that's for another thing.
Go on, sorry.
Oh, no. So growth is networking events, which I know you're the king of. Conferences, updating or reviewing resources. These power notes as well, I should have mentioned. I don't know if you do this, Bobby, but I know that there is a trend of people at the moment actually physically writing thank yous or welcome to the BBC or whatever, and they actually send that out via post. So that's been a trend recently.
Got you. Yeah, I know a few people who do that. So networking events, I do 2 to 3 a week. They're normally 2 hours each, to say, so 2, 4, 6 hours a week on networking. And that doesn't even include my own stuff as Bobby's Business Club. So so there's that. What else do I do for growth? I think that's enough, because today I went to a meeting, I rushed back for you, Holly, to get back to this meeting, and we probably about 60 people at that event. So that's enough people to meet just for 1 week. I've been 4 this week. There'll be 4 events this week. So I'd say that is mostly where I spend a lot of my time. So I would sometimes that doesn't even include the travel. So this morning it took me 2 hours to get to the event today. 1 hour and 1 hour and a half back. So when you start to add in the travel time, an hour each way, that then becomes really 4 hours for one event. So then 3 events times 4, 12 hours, it's about 15, 16 hours a week is on. It's the total networking.
Travel time to networking and stuff. Wow. So I think just from the looks of it, it's going to be way more than 38 hours really, but I know some of the times you don't count as working, but you know, we'll get.
Like as an example, today we finished this call, got a couple of emails to do, and then I'll just hang out on my phone doing just on my own stuff, personal stuff. But if I'm on Facebook and something comes up, I will then jump into that and put work mode on. So
Yeah.
But then again, I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. So when you think about an 8-hour day, you know, I should be finishing about 12, 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Trying to do the maths as well. Right. So from what we've done, obviously these are sometimes a bit more than we think, a little bit less than we think, but just on average, 22 hours in marketing, 3 hours in sales, 1 in delivery, and 18 to 22 in growth. Obviously that travel time really cuts into that time. So, you know, you can kind of argue, is travel time really working? I think it is. But, you know, some people might not agree with that. So help me do the maths here. 22, 25.
44, 45, 48 hours.
Yeah.
That's about right.
48 hours. So are you happy with that number?
I am, because really, if again, taking out the social media stuff where I'm physically just scrolling on stuff, like I don't go on social media and go, I'm going to go and find this person to speak to. I just find people. So really, we take away that 10 hours, that's 38. So, you know, it works about right, and really happy with that. I try not do much on the weekend. I do a little bit of admin just to make the week easier. But apart from that, it's pretty cruisy, and that's, you know, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, awesome. So in terms of short-term or long-term business goals, then, if you could just I know you probably have a million different goals because you're Bobby, but do you have any proper goals that you want to set for yourself, or if you've got any examples of a goal that you've got, like generate more leads? That's always a good one.
Yeah, you know, obviously we want more leads, and the biggest goal is to support NDIS businesses. That's the market that we're in. We want to be able to get a lot of people on our subscription models. But I suppose the biggest goal I have is, by the time that I'm 50, that these businesses will be self-running, and I'll have people running these businesses for me, and I'll be answering an email a week. And that's it, sat on the beach. That's about it. So that's the biggest goal. And everything I do is and that's why I do all the sales. I don't do the recruitment part. It's because I can train someone to do the recruitment, and I can train someone to do sales. And so so in the future, it will be building a team around that setup to be able to grow even more, but without me having to be involved in that growth.
Yeah, right. So at the moment, let's focus in on the more leads goal then. Obviously, you've got a short-term goal, more leads, and then the bigger goal when you've got more leads is to exit the business and have someone do that for you. So what that tells me, is this the right one? No, this one, yeah. So you've got 22 hours in marketing. So, you know, this is when people are building that know, like, and trust factor. They're getting to know you and your brand. And sales, as you can see, there's a big difference between marketing and sales, right? So you're talking to a lot of people, but they're not following with you. So what that means to me, either what you're saying or how you're saying it in your marketing isn't transferring over to people wanting a sales call with you, if that makes sense. Or it could be you do a discovery call and then there's not enough people doing the follow-ups. But I think it might be the first one more so.
Yeah.
So it could be like the TikTok thing, for instance. Maybe you think, I hate to say this, Bobby, you think you're spending time working on your business on TikTok, but you're not. You're doing that PD stuff, which
Bit of both.
Bit of both, yeah. You could argue a bit of both. It could also be like you're creating content, but you're not engaging, or you've got people on your team not doing enough engagement in that sense. So you need to delegate more work to those people who are doing maybe your engagement or your lead generation, to engage with more leads in your LinkedIn or your social media. And then also potentially there's a missing link between how they're engaging with people on your content, but then they're not inviting them onto a chat. There's no direct invitational message. So they're indirectly getting to know, like, and trust your brand, which is a great way for people to slowly start to trust you. But if you want that direct link, you need that kind of missing factor, that missing link to bridge everything together. So that might be something to look into, but obviously this is just a very average, look at what's actually going on. We've only got a limited amount of time, so there might be a little bit more stuff going on, who knows. And this, you probably see on the slide here, this is part of my module 7, which is the last week of the stuff that I do with my clients. This is when we've actually gone through everything and kind of gutted out all of their failing systems, and now they can push into newer, better systems. So, obviously there's only so much we can do in like half an hour, right? So that might be something to look into. Cool. So I know we've only got a limited amount of time, but the natural progression from that, if people want to do this at home, I won't do this with you now, Bobby, but is to then take that time order that you've got. So all of these tasks that you've got, marketing, sales, delivery, growth, then take that into, I forget what I call this now, a task matrix. There we go, a task matrix. So this is where you delegate all of those tasks into either high value tasks, i.e. I am the only person who can do this because I'm the leader of my business. So that might be like the sales call. People actually want to get to know the person behind the business before they come on as a client. And then you can delegate someone else to do those tasks for them, like you do in recruitment, versus low value tasks, where it's more important that they're important, but someone else can do that for me, like the recruitment. Then you've got loathe tasks. So, oh my God, I absolutely hate doing this. I would rather quit now and then do this. Versus love tasks. So I love doing this, even if they aren't important. They don't always have to be important, but I just love doing them, and that's my passion. So for some people, low value task, like you can get a content creator to do this for you, but you just love doing it. So this can be a low value love task versus admin. I hate admin. Accounting. I hate accounting. And you can hire an accountant to do that for you. And I hate it. So why would I waste time? So it depends on what you want to do with your business. So once you've kind of got this sorted, you can then think, okay, I can dominate the high value love tasks for sure. And I need to dominate the high value loathe task, even if I don't want to do them. But that's something I still need to do. Versus these low value loathe tasks, either delete them if they don't serve you any purpose, or delegate them to someone else. Versus low value love tasks, if you want to do them, go for it. If you don't have the time, think about delegating it to someone else and kind of overseeing it from time to time so you're still involved. But it depends. So like I said, I won't do that with you now. We've not got the time. But Karen. So now we're going to do your internal hourly work rate and then calculate your hourly life rate. So this activity is where you put a dollar figure next to these low value tasks that we talked about. So anything that is low value and you're like, should I delegate it? Should I be doing this? I'm not too sure. This can give you a really clear idea as to, yes, I can afford this and it would be worth my time to delegate it to someone else. So it answers the question, if you had to pay someone to do those tasks, what would it cost you? If it's a really high level and no one except you can do it, then it's going to be expensive. Don't delegate it. But if it's something that's relatively cheap and you can hire, do it. If you can obviously make it worth your time. So, Karen, if you went and got a job based on your expertise, what do you think your market rate salary would be?
At least that. At least.
140K?
At least, yeah. Let's just put that down.
Cool. All right. So I know we didn't do this with you, Karen, but how many hours in your business do you work?
Because of, I would say, an average recently, let's be realistic here. It's probably like about 22 hours just because of all the other conflicting requirements.
You're busy, aren't you?
Little bit busy. Yeah. We're moving and we've got kids finishing school and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I would say, to be honest, 22.
Yeah, awesome.
But I do
So
stuff like Bobby, like I don't mind sitting down and being
yeah,
on socials, and then through their ideas will come and you'll be like, oh, and there's certain things you don't count as work either. And like personal development, there's things that I do which that then make me better at what I do. So it's sort
yeah.
of like, what's that counted and where do I count that, as such. So yeah, it's an interesting exercise.
Yeah. And that could be your high value love task because, only you can come up with those incredible ideas,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay.
So
But if I
how many,
had to work, sorry, if I had to work that 140K, I'd probably have to work at least 38, 40 hours. So
yeah.
yeah, but let's just
Okay, well, would you say that 22 hours is just what you're doing at the moment because of everything going on? Or would
yeah,
you,
exactly. Coming up to vacation time and that things wind down a little bit. So it's a little bit slower. And there's other things that require more of my time. So it's being more efficient. And probably also over time, right, become more efficient. And with coaching and that, clients are up and down. So
yeah.
when you have that time and that time, you're doing more in other areas. So yeah, I would say right now, 22, just to fit in so I don't burn out, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
You've got to
okay.
do that. So, okay. So I guess the question for you then is, do you want to know at this moment in time with everything
Yeah.
that's going on in your life right now, do you want to know your market value or your hourly work rate?
No,
Yeah.
let's go on, like say, typically when I did this exercise maybe a year and a half ago of how many hours would I have available to work on my business normally to fit in and to be realistic, I had it at 32. So let's put 32 hours in there, and that allows, it works in well with my other commitments. So yeah, let's be realistic. And
Great.
the
And how
number of
many weeks
weeks.
on average would you be
It's
honest?
52. It's 52 in a year. I would
Mhm.
say I would take like patches of, I would say like maybe over a year. Let's be honest, we're online, but let's say the time I switch off and have things automated, I would probably take about 6 weeks over a year off, I would think. So maybe what's that, 46? 46? Something like that. Yeah.
You're going, there's 56 weeks in a year. Bloody hell, no. Yeah, 46.
Check
Great.
us out. Get our calculators.
Right. Great. So then we need to multiply the average. Here we go. Here's where I get out my bloody calculator. Right. Multiply the average hours you work at week 32 by the number of weeks you work average per year. So 32 times 546. Here we go.
1472.
1472. Thank you so much. So 1472. So this is how many hours, give or take, things going on in your life, moving, blah, blah, blah. This is how many hours you work per year. And then we divide your annual salary. So that's 140K by the number of hours you work per year. So God, sorry, my keyboard's not working. So times that by one.
$95.
Thank
95.
you. So $95.
That's a nice pay rate, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Plus super, go plus the super as well. That's about at the
I don't
moment it's
get
about
super here.
55%. Oh, here it goes up every minute.
Gosh. Cool. And now we're going to take that God, I can't even speak now. That 140K salary that you would get,
Yeah.
salary, times that by, divide that by even the hours in a year, which is 8,760.
$15.98.
Let's just round that up to a lovely number of 16. So your hourly rate for your life is 16.
That's so sad.
No, it's not.
$16.
But that's for every hour of your life.
Every hour of my life.
So
It
if I was to turn around to you and I say, "Hey, I'll give you $16 an hour forever," you'd be like,
give me
"Okay,
20.
yeah, thanks."
Give me 20.
That's why I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Right.
I got there by the gesture. Thanks. It was like, thanks.
So $16 an hour throughout your entire life. Do you think, here we go. Do you think if you spent the money, $16 per hour or 95 per, wait, divide your annual salary. Yeah. So if you could spend that $16 an hour buying back that hour, would
I
you
get what you're
pay
saying.
someone 16 or less? Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it's
So you're saying if each hour of my life is worth $16, I could find someone to do something that would then give me back, which would be better for me.
Exactly.
I like that.
If it was sleep,
Very
if that was PD, if that was sales, whatever your goal is, you can definitely afford $16, right? That's what it's kind of showing you.
Interestingly, I'm got my son, this brought up, it's because he's now finished school, he's now doing admin stuff and teaching him how to do my admin.
Oh,
And I'm
there you
paying
go.
him, I should pay him less because I'm paying him.
Yeah. Don't show him this. No, he doesn't need to know. He gets dinner. That's all you can do. Great. So basically, the overarching question is, once you've calculated everything on a weekly basis, how many hours do you think you could buy back by outsourcing those tasks for equal to or less than your hourly rate in your life? And if you bought back that time, if you invested in the right places, would you be able to build an effective business? Yes. Then what's stopping you? If you can, buy back your time. Makes sense. Any questions?
That was a really great exercise, Holly. I appreciate that. I'm glad I didn't get put on the spot like Bobby at the beginning.
Well, I'm glad I did my bit and didn't do your bit, so it worked out well.
Did it? That's good then. Yeah. So no, I appreciate that. But I think it definitely because I've done a time audit before, and I think what was really apparent, I put it into those 4 quadrants, was like I spent a lot of time on growth. I spent a lot of time on the marketing side. It was interesting what you sort of said, and I can appreciate from like Bobby's perspective, there's different reasons why you probably have, because you have such good systems in place. So it doesn't take you a lot of time on the sales sort of side. It's like so efficient. But I think it's a really important point that you raised there, because I can resonate with what you said about, when you're not seeing the sales, you've got to look back and go, okay, well, you're spending so much time over here. There's something not working. And I think that's a really clear way you must do for your clients and for those watching now to be able to it's not judging. It's literally just saying, put them into 4 quadrants and being honest with yourself. And now you can make a difference, and you can then work out your hourly rate, and then you can choose, and you'll be able to see that real visual representation of your business and be able to go, yeah, so even though I love, say, content marketing or doing this part, that's not adding to the sales aspect. If my goal is to generate more revenue, sales growth, and that. So no, really helpful exercise. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. And like you said, if that's an exercise or an activity in your business that you love doing, but right now it makes more sense to delegate that time to someone else rather than dominate it yourself or just delete it from your work task, then it obviously makes more sense to dominate another task that's actually going to make a difference in your business and then return to that later, because it's not going anywhere. Content creation ain't going anywhere. You can always return to it. Yeah.
Can I ask one last question, Bobby, Holly? So if like, because I know all this stuff, the value you give to your clients, like I've seen it through your journey and that, so I've been following you. So if a person is in that predicament of, oh my gosh, I've got so much time in marketing and maybe growth and in that sales, what would you say? Because I'm thinking like in my space with coaches and mentors, because it's up and down in terms of clients as we build our business to get that kind of steady referrals. What would be one suggestion you would say? And obviously they can come and connect with Holly, and do connect with Holly, because even though she focuses around recruitment, she has helped me as well with messaging. So what would be one thing that you would say when you recognize that you aren't maybe getting those conversions? What would be a suggestion that you would say, this is what you need to look at potentially, obviously without knowing their business?
So you're asking, what would I say to them? Let's say if they want more leads, what would I say to them to get leads? So I would say there's obviously 2 kinds of marketing that you could do. There's attraction marketing, which is focused more on the content side of things, making podcasts, anything that is kind of going to be on the internet as you're doing other stuff as well. So any kind of content, YouTube, anything like that. Your website as well, that's also indirect marketing as well. That's attraction through SEO. But then there's direct marketing, and direct marketing is sometimes, and this is the complaint I get a lot of the time from recruiters, is obviously where you're actually directly outreaching to people and sending them messages, and you're putting yourself in the limelight and in the spotlight. And this is what I hear people talk about when it comes to video marketing as well. They don't want to be judged by people. And, you know, LinkedIn can feel very intimate because you know the people, you know by name, you know their business probably, and you're outreaching them to kind of convince them. And I hate that word. It's such a dirty word. I was talking to another person in my network and they have very similar views that I do. And he said the same thing. And I said, well, what's your offer? And he goes, it's this. And I go, that's a great offer. That's great. Why would you have to convince people to get to take them on as a client? They want to convince you. You want to make it the other way around. And the way that you do that is not by bombarding people with spam direct messages going, hey, you love this. Hey, you want that. You need this, blah, blah, blah. You literally just want to make a connection with them, introduce yourself. Probably as well, the best thing you can do is take them away from the messenger because it feels very, you know, impersonal. Take them into a more introductory call, whether that's a 15-minute intro call, a 30-minute coffee chat, whatever. It could be in person as well, depending on your situation. And just really like make the conversation about them and find what is going on with them. It might be that they don't need any help. You just made a new connection and therefore they can connect you with people in their network. And it works both ways. Sometimes it doesn't work out like that. And people, you know, obviously are like trying to sniff out what's the sale, what's the slip, what's going on. But if you really just come from a place of, here's my offer, I'm not going to bombard you with it, but I'm just going to tell you about it.
Yeah.
So you know about it. I'm not going to say, do you want to do a follow-up call or anything? But just say, oh, but if you're interested, you know, here's my card, here's the link, but nothing from there. And they will probably tell you in their conversation, you can probably get a sense of they need help. And then you can say, well, I do that. Do you want to, you know, have a chat about that? And that's where the discovery process comes in. And people forget that the discovery process should be a conversation where the person, the lead, is getting something out of it. So that they can use it, even if they don't come on as a client, they can still use that info. And it's not a dirty sales call. It should never be dirty. Don't mention about price until the very end. If they ask for it as well, sometimes I'm like, well, you know, if you don't want it, you don't want it. But there you go. That's my stuff. I'll see you later if you need me. And so
cool.
Thanks,
Holly.
Yeah.
Beautiful, mate. It's bang on 12 o'clock, so you've been going 45 minutes. I'll say a couple of minutes at the beginning. No, that's why we do it, because you're never going to get that value out of 10 minutes in a presentation. You'll never get that value that you wouldn't even get a chance to talk about half of that. And so this is why we give our members the opportunity to come on here. We talk about it. This is recorded as well, so you can watch it on our on my LinkedIn profile, my Facebook, and also you can go to Bobby's Business Club on YouTube, and it'll be there. We also share this recording with Holly, so she can then go and use it in the socials if she wanted to. But the real cool thing is we actually repeat this in the next couple of weeks as well, so people can watch it as a repeat. Didn't even get time to ask you a question, but you know we can obviously talk about other things later on. But how can people reach out to you? What's the best way to contact you? Let everyone know.
Yeah, so I guess the best way is to go through LinkedIn. So just search my name, Holly, Holly, not I-E. Many people do that. And then Allaway, spelled like all away. So A-L-L-A-W-A-Y. So many people call me all away, which is absolutely fine, as long as you get the message. So yeah, just search Holly Allaway. My website is auroradigitalmarketingsolutions.com. I know that's a mouthful. I'm sorry about that. You can also reach out to me via email, which is holly@auroradigitalmarketingsolutions.com. And yeah, I think that's about it. Those are all the avenues. So yeah, thank you.
Or you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Karen, and then we're all done. And so it's pretty easy. But thanks for jumping on the show today, Holly. Thanks for giving us your wisdom and your advice, and looking forward to the next chat show. And thanks to everyone joining who's watching. We'll see you later. See ya.
Bye.